The blood beast instantly swelled up, fierce light flashing in its eyes, creating a dazzling scene that made everything blurry as the mace exploded with power and shot straight upward. Live Antiu snorted coldly, saying, I waited until now because I feared you would break free and run away. Evil spirit, quickly attack. The evil spirit had been hovering in the air the entire time, waiting for the perfect moment. At this moment, it plunged headfirst into the blood beast's sea of consciousness, beginning to seize control of the body. The moment its sea of consciousness was occupied, the blood beast's face twisted as if possessed, convulsing wildly and looking extremely distorted. The mace, which had been flying toward Live Antiu, was also taken control of by the evil spirit. It immediately changed direction and shot straight up into the sky. Live Antiu stomped hard on the ground. He shot up like an arrow, chasing after the mace, as the threat posed by the blood beast had completely dissipated. He intended to directly refine this item to settle the matter quickly. In the blink of an eye, his hands released dozens of seals, his fingers moving as fast as needles as he frantically stepped toward the mace. The process lasted for about 15 minutes, during which Live Antiu remained tense as a bowstring while controlling the mace, fearing it would revolt halfway through. A few breaths later, the evil spirit inside the blood beast shouted in panic, Live Antiu, I can't hold on much longer. It's about to turn around and attack you. Feeling the blood beast's imprint on the mace completely dissipate, Live Antiu was overjoyed. Just then, with the mace as the focal point, thunder transformed into a vast, rolling sea spreading outwards, and heavenly might surged. Live Antiu shouted gently, Evil spirit, quickly withdraw from its body. Live Antiu clenched his hand into a claw, gripping the mace tightly as he charged straight toward the blood beast. Then, with a flash of light, he delivered a palm strike directly onto the blood beast's body. This caused it to explode into tiny, unrecognizable fragments. Countless pieces of flesh and blood scattered through the air like red rain. Finally, it's mine. Live Antiu sighed with relief, looking at the 100-lord mace in his hand. Just let the mountain river cauldron handle those remnants, and we'll be done. At that moment, the evil spirit slowly crawled out from the blood beast's body, transforming into a beastly shape. Its eyes were filled with fear as it said, the task I promised is complete. Don't go back on your word. Live Antiu replied, rest assured, I don't need a martial emperor body yet. You can choose for yourself whether to leave or stay within the divine tablet realm to wait for me to find a body for you to possess. Only then did the evil spirit let out a sigh of relief. Live Antiu didn't look like someone who would renege on his word, but the spirit was still in turmoil internally. Leaving would make finding a martial emperor body difficult, but staying felt like hanging by a thread. If Live Antiu changed his mind, it would mean the end for the spirit. It hesitated for a long time before finally gritting its teeth and saying, I choose to stay. When you get a martial emperor body, you must find a powerful one for me. Don't deceive me. Live Antiu laughed heartily and said, rest assured, staying here is fine. Who knows, maybe you can even help with a few small tasks. The evil spirit's expression changed slightly, and it said, startled, I am only staying here to wait for a buddy, not to be your subordinate. Our relationship is one of peaceful coexistence. You must not force me. Live Antiu smiled and nodded. Rest assured, I never force anyone. If I need a favor, I will offer conditions for you to choose from yourself. The blood beast, having lost all its profound kai, plummeted rapidly in ore. Live Antiu looked at it and muttered, I wonder how much blood from martial artists this thing absorbed to form. For those who cultivate blood techniques, this is a supreme treasure. But for me, it's just rare material to keep and refine later. Hearing this, the evil spirit shivered slightly and looked down with pity in its eyes. Having said that, Live Antiu's figure flashed and appeared on a flat patch of ground, his expression gradually becoming serious. The demon core fruit tree stood planted in front of him, motionless like a statue. Its demonic energy had completely disappeared, perhaps having retracted itself to self-protect after sensing the change in environment. Live Antiu stood pondering for a while before asking, what would happen if I were to swallow and refine it? The demon dragon sneered disdainfully, were you kidding? This thing is a great demon's avatar, not ordinary demonic energy. If you swallow it, I'm afraid your life will also cease to exist. I was also hesitant because I feared I'd lose control and become demonized, Live Antiu said with a cunning laugh. Stop posturing. I'm dying of curiosity here. Hearing this, the demon dragon felt a chill run down its spine. It angrily shouted, don't be foolish. Curiosity is digging your own grave. It's as clear as day, why don't you understand? This is a great demon that has been suppressed for countless years. Are you planning to play with death by hanging yourself? Live Antiu didn't bother arguing. He raised his right hand and grabbed directly at the demon core fruit. His hand sank into it as if plunging into mud, penetrating completely inside. The demon dragon, standing nearby, watched dumbfounded. This guy truly lets advice blow past his ears, it thought. A strange light flashed in Live Antiu's eyes as he muttered, did you forget the people in the Hushan Sea? Everyone that cultivates demonic techniques. Kai Shinfeng even snatched the remnant body of the emperor. If I can refine this demon core fruit, I won't just become stronger. I'll also increase my resistance to demonic energy. After this, I won't have to worry about becoming demonized anymore. Upon hearing this, the demon dragon completely deflated. It fully understood Live Antiu's reckless nature and that nothing could stop him from trying out crazy ideas. It could only sigh and say, you've already chosen the demonic path, so what is there left to fear about becoming demonized? I just hope you recover your strength soon to refine a new body for me. Right now, I'm just worried that if you lose control and become demonized, you'll conveniently refine me too, and then I'm finished. Then you might as well pray to heaven. Parhar. Li Yunxiao laughed loudly as he swung his hand and slapped the demon argent fruit directly. The demon argent fruit immediately exploded, scattering demon energy which then coalesced into the form of her demon head. It roared and shot directly towards Li Yunxiao's body. Recalling the skeleton's words, this true demon energy originated from primordial chaos, where the Tao transformed into one and then split into three clear energies. One of these clear energies transformed into a demon, and its power might not necessarily be inferior to the grand unification profound energy. The demon head dissolved into demon energy that filled the sky, creeping up his arm and covering his entire body. It entered his body through the 7 orifices, intending to completely transform him into a demon. The demon dragon washed with his hair standing on end, immediately transforming into human form. Holding the dragon bone staff, he slowly circulated his dragon argent power, ready to intervene with dragon breath suppression if Li Yunxiao showed any strange signs. At this moment, Li Yunxiao was pitch black like coal, his entire body tightly wrapped in demon energy. The demon dragon panicked when he saw Li Yunxiao immobile. Li Yunxiao said nothing, only raised his hand to give a signal. He raised his index finger, indicating that he was fine and not to cause trouble. Then he formed hand seals and sat cross-legged, circulating the Great Evolution God technique. Light immediately spread through his meridians, forming golden tactile script that protected his spiritual platform, blocking the demon energy from all sides. As long as the spiritual platform remained, the sea of consciousness would not collapse, making it difficult for the demon energy to conquer. Li Yunxiao raised his hand and drew some strokes in the air. The demon dragon saw this and immediately asked, "What are you writing?" "Just say whatever you want to say." A moment later, several lines of golden text appeared in the air. "Useless thing, showy artifact, red-robed pervert, piece of trash, turns out you're just a mistress." The demon dragon almost fainted upon seeing this. "You still have time to joke around," he cursed, rolling his eyes, calling him a dog. Li Yunxiao's eyes suddenly opened wide, and he raised his head, letting out a roar. A powerful light erupted from his body, throwing the demon energy aside. This was a sign of a martial venerable breakthrough. Last time, with the skeleton's help, absorbing the true dragon's tears had elevated him to the 2nd star. In just half a month, he had already jumped to the 4th star martial venerable. Li Yunxiao sighed, acknowledging that gains come with losses. Although having the demon energy enter his body was extremely dangerous, the benefits were immeasurable. The demon dragon snorted coldly and said, "The price you paid was far too high. The gains don't make up for the losses." "I already told you I'm fine," Li Yunxiao said, staggering to his feet. Suddenly, his body froze, and a strange aura emanated from him. "Cackle cackle, you want to refine me? You're a little too confident. Knowing I am a clone of the demon lord, you still dare to act so recklessly." A horrifying laugh came from Li Yunxiao's throat, and his face gradually twisted into the ferocious appearance of Emperor Yi. He suddenly made a move, forming his right hand into a claw and grabbing directly towards the demon dragon. The demon dragon, scared out of his wits, hastily prepared to retaliate, but he discovered that the dragon bone staff had also been corroded by the demon energy. Li Yunxiao's right arm, which was choking the demon dragon, suddenly stopped. Li Yunxiao regained control of half his body and angrily said, "I was careless and fell for your trick. How can my physical body be taken over by some insignificant demon race?" His body immediately emitted streams of bright moonlight divine energy, wiping away the demon runes on his skin. His expression returned to calm, and he said in a low voice, "This true demon energy is the origin power of the demon lord clone and possesses a certain level of intelligence. Refining it won't happen overnight, but inside my divine monument realm, dare it still cause trouble." "Oh dear, this is a bit troublesome. Are you okay?" Li Yunxiao asked the demon dragon with a sigh and a wry smile. The demon dragon was so angry his blood boiled as he said, "You call this just a little troublesome? I think we were about to lose both our lives. If it's like this inside the divine monument realm, do you really think you can stay conscious outside?" "And you," Li Yunxiao snapped, his face instantly turning fierce, "don't you ever get tired of nagging? Say one more word, and I'll refine you even without falling to the demonic path." The demon dragon flinched inwardly. At this moment, Li Yunxiao's spiritual platform was indeed still shining brightly. However, he was clearly influenced by the demon energy, making his temper irritable and unpleasant. Just then, a figure descended from above and stood directly in front of Li Yunxiao. The gentle voice said, "Steady your mind." Li Yunxiao's heart trembled. The person's figure was soft, carrying a faint, gentle fragrance. It was Liu Yunsheng. She activated the 9 Yang True Art, which immediately resonated with his bright moon divine body, gradually suppressing the violent aura. Li Yunxiao also realized his recent strange change in temperament, so he closed his eyes and began dual cultivation with Liu Yunsheng. The demon dragon was surprised. He hadn't paid attention to her cultivation before, but looking closely now, he saw she had already reached the level of venerable martial artist. At this moment, a layer of red light covered Liu Yunsheng, resembling the bright morning sun and radiant sunset, merging with Li Yunxiao's bright moon divine light. The two streams of divine light intermingled, gradually merging into a gentle aura that spread throughout the area. The demon dragon was slightly taken aback before letting out a soft sigh. At least for now, the true demon aura had been suppressed, but it remained a potential hidden danger. Thinking about Li Yunxiao's recklessness made him feel annoyed. Although incidents were unlikely within the divine steel, the demon dragon still transformed back into his dragon form. circling silently around the two to protect them. Time slowly passed. The two entered meditation for 1 month, which quickly turned into 3 months. It was only then that Lai Yunxiao slowly opened his eyes and awoke. "Oh, you're awake," Yue Yunsheng exclaimed softly, then gently asked, "How do you feel now?" Lai Yunxiao looked at her enchanting face, an indescribable feeling suddenly arising in his heart. Yue Yunsheng saw him staring intently without blinking, immediately blushed, and asked with some embarrassment, "What are you looking at?" A breakthrough light flashed around Lai Yunxiao's body as he advanced to a 5-star venerable martial artist. Only then did he say, much better now." He gave a wry smile and said, "It's strange, I advanced a star, but your cultivation didn't budge. Is it true that after reaching venerable martial artist, every step for the 9-yang divine body is as difficult as climbing the sky?" Liu Yuncheng shook her head and replied, "If the method is run, then yes, that's true. I remember Master once said that the 9-yang divine body, upon reaching venerable martial artist, must go to a certain place to open up the next path. Oh, there's such a thing. Where is it?" Lai Yunxiao asked in surprise. "Is it inside the Divine Firmament Palace?" Liu Yunsheng laughed and said, "It's within the Divine Firmament Palace's territory, but not inside the palace itself. I'm not exactly sure of the specifics. We'll know when we get there." Lai Yunxiao nodded and said, "Let's go and figure it out then. I'll go with you." "Thank you, Yunxiao, but there's no need. I can go alone," Liu Yunsheng replied, feeling a little happy inside. But she still shook her head decisively and said seriously, "This is an internal secret of the Divine Firmament Palace. It's not appropriate for outsiders to know." Lai Yunxiao paused for a moment. Seeing her determination, he nodded and said, "In that case, be careful. This place is near the teleportation array to the Blood God Palace. I'll take you there." "Sham," Yue Yunsheng replied softly, her voice light as a mosquito's buzz. "Oh dear, trouble has arrived." Suddenly, the demon dragon uttered a strange remark, transformed into a ray of light, and flew away. Lai Yunxiao looked up and saw a figure in black standing there. It was Ding Liner. Her cheeks flushed pink as she whispered, "So Sister Yunsheng is also here." Liu Yunsheng recalled the incident when Ding Linger had caught them that day, immediately blushing with embarrassment. The atmosphere between the three became indescribably awkward. Ding Linger, currently in the guild hall, carried herself like someone in charge of important matters. Sure enough, she knew how to ease the atmosphere and quickly spoke, "Sister Yunsheng, young Master Yun, I came here to bid you farewell." "Bid farewell?" Lai Yunxiao and Liu Yunsheng exclaimed in surprise simultaneously. The two were momentarily bewildered, then asked in unison, "Why is that so?" Even Lai Yunxiao felt something was off about the atmosphere this time, so he remained silent. Meanwhile, a hint of jealousy arose in Ding Linger's heart as she thought, "These two even speak so much alike." Thinking this, her heart sank, but she forced herself to speak. "I have been in the Divine Steel realm for a long time. Since the Battle of T-1ED1NG-NGUY-1EC7T Duan Than, I have been completely unaware of the situation of the Thuan men and the Thayan and Gayan Merchant Guild. Moreover, people don't know if I'm alive or dead, which must have caused a great stir. I must show up immediately, or the Thayan and Gayan Merchant Guild will be thrown into chaos." L left 1EA1C Van TH left 1B0 left 1EDDNG cautiously asked, "Is it only because of this matter? There isn't any other reason, right?" Din Lin and Ashai gave a forced smile and said, "Sisto, you ask strangely. What other reason could there be?" L led 1EA1C Van TH led 1B0 led 1EDDNG quickly waved her hand and said, "No, I just asked casually. Actually, there's nothing going on between young Master Van and me." Din Lin and Ashai felt even more flustered inside, muttering, "Why does sister keep talking more and more strangely? I didn't say there was anything between you two. Besides, what does it matter to me whether there's something going on between you two or not?" She chuckled a few times to herself, yet felt burned inside. The more L led 1EA1C Van TH led 1B0 led 1EDDNG tried to explain, the more flustered she became, stammering and unable to articulate. Lai Van Teru gave a forced laugh and said, "Well, whoever wants to leave, leave. It will be quieter in the Divine Steel. I hope you stay away for a while and don't rush back." Din Lin and Ashai was stunned and asked, "What do you mean by that?" "Sister, do you want to leave too?" L led 1EA1C Van TH led 1B0 led 1EDDNG nodded and explained her own situation thoroughly. She added, "At first, there were other people here, so I felt a little relieved. Now that everyone is leaving, who will take care of young Master Van here?" Din Lin and Ashai suddenly felt that her early jealousy had been unjustified. She quickly said, "This little sister has matters to attend to and cannot stay." "Sister, you can stay longer." L led 1EA1C Van TH led 1B0 led 1EDDNG shook her head and replied, "Cultivation cannot be delayed." Their eyes met as if they completely understood each other's thoughts, and then they spontaneously smiled together. L led 1EA1C Van TH led 1B0 led 1EDDNG smiled and said, "In that case, let's go." Din Lin and Ashai nodded and said, "Although we are heading in different directions, we both need to pass through the teleportation array at the Blood God Palace, so we can travel together for a part of the journey." The two lightly smiled, and the sky seemed wider. Lai Van Teru watched the figures working side by side, and a strange feeling arose in his heart. Lai Van Teru's figure flashed as he left the Divine Steel. He checked his body. The true demonic energy had been suppressed by the bright moon divine body. However, as the demon dragon had said, he didn't know how long it would last. Conversely, absorbing the demon origin fruit brought enormous benefits. Not only did he increase by 2 levels, but his resistance to demonic energy also increased significantly. Livan Teru thought for a moment and said, after refining the demon origin fruit, I can consider cultivating the true demon Dharma idol left by the skeleton. However, since the demon entity has just entered my body, I shouldn't use it for now to avoid losing control. The demon dragon chimed in, I also remember an item that can enhance your divine body. It's the Eastern Sea Bright Moon Pearl. Furthermore, the place where you receive the divine body inheritance also has connections to it. Livan Teru nodded and said, I also thought of that item. Otherwise, I wouldn't have just used it to suppress the demon entity. The Eastern Sea Bright Moon Pearl is a supreme treasure of the Eastern Sea. I heard that if you gather 24 pieces, you can create a beautiful phenomenon called the 24 Bridges and Bright Moon Night, which can dissolve and suppress all demonic phenomena. The demon dragon said, I have also heard of the 24 Bridges and Bright Moon Night, but legends are often exaggerated. It might not necessarily be powerful enough to completely destroy demonic entities. Livan Teru pondered and said, that's a good point. Once I gather 24 pieces, I will find a demonic entity to test it on. If it's effective, that will be another move for me to use. The demon dragon was speechless. He said, I advise you that if you want to deal with a demon entity, you should find K-1EF3TH-1EAF and G-Fun. The primordial lock in his hand is truly a wonder. Livan Teru replied, I also intended to do that, which is why I obtained a pass to the divine transformation sea. Whether he refines the Emperor's remnant body or not, he will definitely return there. It seems I should go to Hanyu City first. That place is the holy land of the Eastern Domain, where I can acquire many Eastern Sea specialties, including the Bright Moon Pearl. After the major demonic incident, the seal opened, and the spiritual energy gradually dissipated, causing this place to become desolate. The land of buried bones, once renowned throughout the world, is now in ruins. Livan Teru quickly left the land of buried bones, then released Dinlin and HI and L Leth 1EA1C Van TH Leth 1B0 Leth 1EDDNG. The three worked side by side. Dinlin and HI said wordly, the incident at T Leta 1ED1 and GNGUY Leta 1EC7 T Duing Than had an impact no less than the demonic catastrophe, but no one is discussing it. I don't know what state the Thuan men and Thayan and Gaian merchant guild are in now. Livan Teru comforted her, although you are an important figure, a large organization like that won't easily collapse. Moreover, given this situation, perhaps your father has already shown himself. Dinlin and HI was startled and asked, you also think my father hides his true strength? Livan Teru said, don't be surprised. I haven't met Din Sun, but someone who leads the Thayan and Gaian merchant guild and holds a position on the Thuanmen's board of directors cannot be ordinary. Furthermore, regarding Vu Van Bark's death. Upon hearing this, Dinlin and Hai's body trembled slightly. She still couldn't understand this matter. Before his death, Vu Van Bark definitely didn't have any friendship with Livan Teru. Livan Teru sighed, I don't want to believe it either, but the person who killed Vu Van Bark could very well be your father. When we were pursuing him, that group wasn't strung, proving that his body had been destroyed beforehand, leaving only a remnant soul. At that time, instead of seeking out the 10,000 treasures tower, he came to me, which proves he didn't dare return there. Led 1EA1C Van TH Led 1B0 Led 1EDDNG said in surprise, do you mean Lin Enhai's father is hiding in the 10,000 treasures tower? Livan Teru looked at Din Lin and HI and spoke softly, Lin and HI, don't worry about it too much. When you return this time, you can observe carefully. If my guess is correct, the Thayan and Gaian merchant guild will not only avoid chaos but also expand its influence. Leta 1EA1C Van TH Leta 1B0 Leta 1EDDNG said doubtfully, but in that situation, even if Din San had been present, he might not necessarily have escaped the siege of the great demons. Livan Teru interrupted, if Din San was truly there at that time, those demon race individuals wouldn't have been strong enough to touch him. The situation then was too urgent, so we withdrew first. Since then, there has been no news. It's possible the Thuanmen sealed off information. Everything that happened afterward is temporarily difficult to predict. Dinlin Enhai's expression softened somewhat. She took a deep breath to calm herself, then said, T Leta 1ED1 and GNGUY Leta 1EC7 T Duing Than has been destroyed, and the Thuanmen has experienced such a major upheaval. It would be impossible to hide it, even if they wanted to. Moreover, the young master of the Blade Sword sect also participated at that time. Now everything is quiet, as if nothing ever happened. I'm afraid this is the calm before the storm. I'll wait until I return to see. If it's exactly as Van Teru said, then that would be good. I could lay down this burden. It's just. Worry appeared in her eyes as she slowly asked, if Vu Van Bark truly died by my father's hands, Van Teru, how would you handle it? Livan Teru replied in a deep voice, Vu Van Bark's debt must definitely be repaid. But if your father truly caused it, I will leave him a path to survival. Dinlin Enhai's eyes were red-rimmed. The scene of Van Tiu confronting her father was what she wanted to see least. She softly said, thank you, Van Tiu. Livan Tiu sighed, sometimes things don't go as I expect, but Din Sun is still your father, so I will try to keep my actions in check. On the way to the Blood God Palace, the three heard quite a few rumors. A super-grade profound artifact appeared, shaking heaven and earth. The Void Martial Emperor was severely wounded. Later, thinking of the people, he counterattacked desperately and repelled the fiend. The Holy Domain and the Sea of Transformation had repeatedly investigated but found nothing. It was rumored that these two powers were holding an urgent meeting and sending powerful experts to hunt down the fiend everywhere. The sect suffered heavy losses in that battle. Martial Emperor experts were almost all killed. The survivors went into seclusion to heal. For several years, relying on the resources of the land of buried bones, they developed quickly, tolerated by Crimson Moon City. Who would have thought that a collapse would occur just like that? Indeed, human fate is unpredictable. The land of buried bones opened its sealed ley lines, and ancient treasures fell out, but they were all snatched by experts. Now, people go there mainly to see the traces of the Void Martial Emperor's battle. The three quickly reached the Blood God Palace's teleportation formation and saw many people lining up. Since the teleportation fee was calculated per trip, many people formed groups. Where are you heading, brother? If you're going to Construction City, let's go together. I'm heading to Bichthon City, but going via there works too. It saves 3,000 mid-grade spirit stones. It takes a little extra effort, but it's worth it. Parhar, thanks, brother. Young man, where are the three of you planning to go? A short, sharp old man approached with a chuckle, his eyes constantly darting around. Livan T coldly said, we don't need to form a group no matter where we go. Find someone else. The old man laughed and said, such a strong warrior. You must be a young master from a prominent family. Tisk tisk, these two beautiful companions are also stunning beauties. Let me tag along with you. I'm too poor and can't afford the fee. Livan T glanced over and coldly said, if you don't have enough money, what does that have to do with me? Go figure it out yourself. The old man immediately shouted, young people nowadays are so heartless. If word gets out, your reputation will suffer. Black Van Thuen chuckled softly and asked, where are you going? If it's on our way, we can take you along. The old man cackled and said, I'll go wherever this young man goes. Just as Livan T was about to speak, a shout rang out, quiet down, everyone. This is a teleportation area. No gathering and making noise. Anyone trying to evade the fee, even if they've already paid, won't be allowed through. If you haven't paid yet, the fine is tenfold. The one shouting was the manager of the Blood God Palace stationed there. His eyes fell on Din Lin and Ashai and Lac Van Thuen, and he gulped heavily. Then he glanced at Lai Van Tu, his expression immediately turning cold. He said in a low voice, that kid, you look familiar. Have we met somewhere before? Lai Van Tu frowned and replied nonchalantly, if you have something to say, spit it out quickly. My back aches and my feet are tired. I don't want to stand for long. Hearing this tone, the old man seemed resigned to his fate and slipped away. The person suppressed his anger and forced a smile, saying, don't rush. Our Blood God Palace is short on people and planning to recruit the two young ladies next to you. Do you want to join too? If you join, you won't have to worry about a sore back anymore. Parar. Dinlin and Hi and Lac Van Thuen had cold eyes. Clearly, this man was motivated by lust. Lai Van Tu sneered, raised his middle finger, and said, join to become the palace lord, probably. Too bad I'm not interested.